Hey, what's up everybody? Jenazad here. So, I thought I'd make this video to talk about, well, pretty much an entire year review of Epic 7 in terms of the monetary sense, and kind of, I suppose, my concerns and thoughts on the game overall. So I was looking at this Sensor Tower review, so this comes out every single month, basically how much money all these games make. Now it's not fully 100% accurate, I believe, and it doesn't include every region, so this is not going to include China, for instance, but so this is just currently what I was looking at, and I was looking at how much money a bunch of games are making. Epic 7 usually makes around $3 to $4 million. It kind of likes to fluctuate, sometimes even $5 million. So I was looking down and thinking, okay, well, it's going to be around the 3 million section. Here? Oh, it made 1.8 million from 3 million last month. And I would say last month felt pretty dry overall, and this month, well, was feeling pretty dry as well, January. So, Epic 7 has never gone that low as far as I've been playing it, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've ever seen such a giant dip. And I believe it made around $3 million in China as well. When it first came out in China, it was making crazy amounts of money, hand over fist, around like 20 million or something like that. It was like really, really high up on their charts. It was popping off. Then, there was some like censorship issues and other stuff, and players got pissed. And, lots of games make a ton of money at first, and then they kind of die down, unless you're someone like Genshin or Honkai. Those are exceptions. But so usually 3 million is actually a pretty good amount for a game to make. And I'm not sure if this is 100% accurate in every single way, and it might not include all purchases made on every single type of device and every single thing. I don't know if they can really track all that. But this is a good barometer for how games are doing usually. So I saw this and was a little bit concerned. Now, I was looking at this. This is an entire year of Epic 7 from December 2022 all the way until January of this year, which was 1.8 million. And as you can see just from this chart, it generally goes 4 million, 3 million, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 5, 5, 5. These were big months. July, August, September, I believe that was around the summer event and all the things happening around there. Also, the E7 World Cup drums up a lot of hype, right? That gets people excited, really interested in the game. So that obviously increases some of the amount of money made as well. And it started to kind of die down a little. Then it kind of died down, right? We're still dealing with like Emma Landy and Emma Yufine got thrown into the mix and all that kind of stuff. Kind of just the same stuff. And then suddenly, or just not really spending money. So I want to talk about a few reasons why that may be, and I suppose just talk about the game and things related to it, because I really do love Epic 7. I talk a lot of crap about it, admittedly, right? I'd like to think that when I'm sitting here, making a video, I have a fairly level head. I can talk about things, without any sort of rage or, emotional kind of stuff, but I think Epic 7 is the best gacha game on the market. Full stop. Really nothing else to say about that. I think it's the best. I think that E7, if it wasn't so good, I would not have been able to force myself to play for as long as I have, right? Because the game has so many good things about it. But I do really care about the game, honestly. Like, I fell in love with the game as soon as I played it, and I want the best for it. Obviously I'm a content creator, so, it equals money as well for me. Obviously that's important, but I really do like the game, and I think a lot of other people share that love, and I want the game to do as well as it can. And I just wanted to talk about the past year in review, I suppose, of this and kind of what was happening that past year. And so I have this Cecilia Bot Timeline, where I can look at the timeline of like all the banners and other stuff like that. I kind of want to talk about it. This website is amazing. I'll link it below, and it's made by someone who actually shows up in my chat, Giovalin. He's also the one who does the data mines that you see on Reddit of characters' numbers and all that kind of stuff. Really great guy, does a lot of work for the community, definitely underappreciated. Highly recommend you check his stuff out. But let's take a look. So this was December. Zio came out. Well, Zio is kind of a big deal, right? Really huge deal. And you'll notice this was also during ESPA, which we have not gotten a rerun of. But what's a little concerning? ESPA only made 4 million, which is kind of just normal. So that collaboration didn't really seem to do a whole lot. Or would this month have done really, really badly if it wasn't for ESPA? I wonder. Maybe there's things going on in the world at the same time. Sometimes certain days of the week are worse performing for businesses than others. Maybe this was just a bad month for the business, something like that, let's say. But Zio and Espa, pretty big deal, so I'm kind of surprised it's so low. Then you look somewhere like January, really didn't get anything, right? Death Dealer Ray, I mean, you know, it's kind of whatever overall, right? Tail end of Espa, I suppose. At the very end, Peacemaker Fierce, nobody cares. Bihu, nobody cares. Sorry if you like those characters. I'm just being real here. They're not really high priority units. And if you look at this, okay, dip down 1 million, and there's no Espa. Less money being spent, right? The next 2 months, we see 4 million. It's consistent, right? So we look at February. This is where we had Limited Ahmed and Emo Bologna. I would say pretty high priority characters that people really like. Just very popular designs and overall. So, okay, makes a good amount. And then we look over in March, and the month after, well, we had a double custom Mystic banner, so maybe people spending some money on that. That kind of stuff can definitely drum up a lot of hype. We're actually about to get another one of these, and they're stalling all banners at the same time, Mystic banners, while they're doing it, probably because they haven't finished the new ML5, so they kind of have to stall a little bit. So those were consistent. Then we dipped down to 3 million right after, right? In April. What happened in April? Well, we got Emma Laika, who was terrible when she first got released, right? Was unbelievably bad. We still have the double custom Mystic banner. We have some reruns, and then it looks like we have the start of the custom triple RGB group summon. But as you can see, it seems like when there's not really like big characters or things that really hype people up, it doesn't really do much. Like, sure, they make money off these, but it's not really that big. People aren't really excited, right? But you might notice in May, we got this collaboration rerun. So how did May do? Well, it made 4 million. So seems like collaborations and stuff like that usually increase it by about 1 million when there's something kind of exciting. I'm not sure how many packs are really being bought to just summon, but that seems to be kind of about how it is. So, you know, people get a little hype about that. Emo Karen comes out, he's unbelievably horrible, but, you know, he's a really exciting unit for a lot of people. Emo Karen was really highly sought after all, right? So that's pretty much most of May. At the very tail end, we see Abigail leading us into June, which was a 3 million one, which is a bit lower overall, not really that amazing. Last piece, Karin, kind of hype, people are a little happy about that. And then Emma Rawana, overall people thought she was terrible on release, even though she ended up becoming really good and then becoming bad again. But she was really popular, but not really the best character for most people to pull, so probably not a lot of people very excited over in June. So not really all that hype, right? Lower amount. Now we see 5 million 3 times in a row, starting in July. Well, what happened in July? Oh, back-to-back limiteds, part of the same event. Also happened to be the best event ever for farming gear, just unbelievably insane. And guess what? You needed dupes of characters or artifact to really go more efficient. So makes sense they'd make more money, especially since whales are probably going crazy. They're like, oh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to farm, right? So they were going crazy in July. Then in August, well, we had Guilty Gear collab group summon. Then we also had ReZero. Then we also had MO Landy. Then we also had normal Landy banner. And this is all around, I think around the World Cup, or maybe a little bit before the World Cup, but basically just so much at once, right? Got these limiteds, now we get these limiteds. People gotta spend money to get what they want, right? And then MO Landy, the best MO5 basically ever, all at the same time. So people spending money in August, you better believe it, right? People gotta get what they want. And then we go into September. Well, what happened in September? We have Emo Acades, we have Emo Shu, we got Brieg, we got Gala Lilius, who I would say a lot of people were very excited for. She was the special unit from the art contest that was made. Smallgate always does an amazing job with the designs, bringing them to life in the game and giving them interesting skill sets like Fairy Tail Tenebria. We have another one coming up at some point too, whenever that winner's announced, when people submit all their art. And it looks like Nocqua also came out at around the tail end of it. This month is a bit of a mystery to me because somehow it made 5 million, but there wasn't a ton going on. So I believe that this was probably during the World Cup full swing. Events and stuff like that really bring the whole community in, really make people excited. So this kind of thing probably got a lot of money due to that. So, you know, they invest money into these tournaments, but then, you know, it gets people excited and people spend more money and you maybe have some decent banners and stuff. People get hyped, right? Then we go look in October. Where are we at? 3 million, 3 million, 3 million until we get to today. Well, let's take a look. What happened in, I believe it was October, right? Well, rerun banner. Nobody cares. Resident Sleeper. Kane and Rift coming out. Honestly, lame. Who cares? Nobody really wanted to get him. Now we see Emily Fiend, and here's what's interesting. Emily Fiend, completely broken unit, right? I thought she'd be OP, and then I tried her out, and I guess I was just bad. And so I was like, this isn't that great. And then, oh wait, no, she's actually the most broken unit of all time. Whoops, sorry, I was wrong. Right? But only 3 million for this. And then you look at this, triple custom RGB banner. Huh, they're not really making much off of that in November either. That's interesting. 3 million, 3 million. I guess people kind of getting bored. It was after the World Cup, right? Stuff kind of dies down. People are tired of fighting Emma Landy all the time. She's everywhere. She's in every game. People don't like the RNG. It's frustrating. So what do we do? Well, let's add another character that is the most frustrating thing ever with a bunch of RNG and counterattacks in every single game. Well, yeah, we may as well just have 2 of them, right? So E7, you know, making the same amount, 3 million this one, custom group banner, you know, just some whatever reruns. People don't care overall. Most people aren't going to roll for S10A, right? Most people have them. Boomir, kind of a disappointment for a lot of people, not really that big of a deal. Then we go look at December. Okay, what was December? Well, we actually had 2 limiteds, but the thing is, neither of those limiteds were really must-pulls, it ended up being. Sure, Biblis got buffed after to be, like, Ite, right? Like, she's actually decent, okay? She's alright. I would say Green Lidica, not very good. Emma Ludwig, only cleavers are really using him, so, you know, not a ton of people are really pulling for them. And then you see these banners, not very good, but we saw there was a balance patch, but, like, we didn't know how good they were gonna be, so, like, who's gonna pull for these characters before they get buffed? Like, you're kind of insane, right? Overall, just not really much going on, and we're still in that fatigue of Emma Landy, Emily Fiend. People are still just, oh, God. I mean, I know that it just completely killed my enthusiasm, 100%. Like, just having to go in RTA every day and deal with those units, it was just too much. And a lot of people in my chat also just frustrated, unhappy with that kind of stuff, just like not really liking it. And then you don't even have limiteds to get really excited about. There's too many limiteds that were happening too. People are just drained to their bookmarks, so people are just feeling kind of frustrated, I think. They're getting milked, right? And now we look at January. What happened in January, the month where we only made 1.8 million, which is an all-time low. I've never seen that low. What do we get in January? Well, it's still Lidica banner, but, you know, whatever. People already pulled her, or they didn't. We're not going to go crazy. We get Elvira, who, I mean, she was completely broken for the wrong reasons when she first released, and then they basically immediately announced that they were changing her. But not really that exciting, especially since she was announced she was getting changed, so people were mad, people were upset, right? And then Emil Shroon, kind of a niche unit, and most people aren't really excited for them. So, like, nothing happened, right? So, we had 3 months in a row with people just being like, who cares, whatever, just feeling kind of fatigued, kind of whatever. And then eventually that fatigue's kind of hitting a peak after the new year. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not doom posting here. I'm not saying like, oh, Epic 7's gonna die, it's end of service, it's gone, it's all over, guys. And I just do like some sort of YouTube thumbnail like, oh, like that, and then it's over in big text, right? Maybe I should do that actually, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I find this kind of a worrying trend, and I mean, I've had multiple people in my chat just saying that they're quitting the game, like more and more. This is a more common trend recently of people not really happy. And I mean, hey, streaming and making content is my job, so I look at the trends. I look at a lot of this kind of stuff, right? I see how many viewers I'm getting, I see how many viewers other people are getting, my YouTube videos, other people's YouTube videos, right? I want to kind of get a barometer for like how things sort of are. And E7 right now, zero hype. There's none. Nobody is excited about anything or really interested in this stuff, and I find that kind of concerning, right? I mean, I feel it too. It's not a good feeling either, just being like, wow, I love this game, but God, when are we going to get something to be excited about? Keep in mind, Awakened Potential was supposed to come out to get people excited. Well, kind of looked like it sucked and it was going to probably kill the game, so the community kind of vetoed that. The problem is, they could have probably reworked it into something that was actually good, but when they did their little changes, it wasn't enough for the community. It wasn't really enough, so it got completely killed, and now it's just gone. And so what, are we just months behind on content now, essentially? Is that what happened, and it's just going to be taking forever to try and catch up? Is that what's going on at Smilegate at the moment? I just think that these are, worrying trends, and I'm not a fan of it overall. Like, if you just look at this at a graph sense, like E7, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. World Cup, big up, and then it's just like, wow, oh no, right? And sure, Awakened Potential was a huge reason for that, just less hype, less excitement. But I mean, let's be honest, that was just the company trying to be insanely greedy. It was a crazy cash grab greedy thing. Honestly gross. You might notice that they release more and more packs every single patch. Recently we got like a few pet packs and stuff like that, and like $50 to choose what pet skill you want. Like, okay, man. Alright, I mean, how about you just revamp pets to not be so frustrating instead of just like $50 for the skill? Okay, dude. So there's a lot of milking going on. We're seeing 2 limiteds constantly coming out, and just so many limited events in general. They're not even bringing back the collabs people really want, like Full Metal Alchemist and Espa, to try and get some of those units. Just a lot of mystifying weird things going on, a lot of decision making around Smilegate. Patch notes and things have all sorts of errors. They accidentally said that Lionheart Surmir is going to be the skin, but then it turns out it's Bravo Cesaria. How do you even make that mistake, by the way? They're not the same element, they don't look alike. I guess they're part of the same story, but like what? Some lore guy chose the wrong person? It doesn't even make any sense. Like, so many just dumb little problems happening, like the Elvira thing, just like untested stuff. Like, what's really going on here? It feels like things are kind of falling apart at the seams, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. I want E7 to keep going, but like, I mean, with how the way that things have been, it's concerning, and not very happy about it. I hope Smilegate can really get it together, because like, us players really like the game. We wouldn't play the game if we absolutely hated it. If I hated the game, if I truly hated the game, like, sure, I'm not a fan of RTA right now, but if I really hated it, I just would do the absolute bare minimum. I'd barely log in. I wouldn't even really use my energy. I would do like nothing. I would just, who cares, right? But I'm not at that state. I still care. I still really care about this game. And I feel like I care more than the devs at this point. I'm sure a lot of you guys care more than the devs at this point. So it just feels like nothing's happening. I wish Smilegate would be a little more transparent. Hell, even if they just came out and said, hey guys, sorry, yeah, I know the content's a little bit dry and we're trying to work on it, but it's gonna take a while. Sorry about this. Like, ever since the Awakened Potential thing, we're trying to make some things. We'll try and release something exciting in like 1 month. That's kind of when we're thinking of doing some good stuff. If they were just transparent, which never happens with Eastern companies usually, I think people would be like, okay, let's give them a chance. All right, but it's just this radio silence, and then just patch after patch after patch of just like, who cares, right? And I think there's stuff they can do without releasing content. They could just buff like 25 units at the same time. People would get so hyped. People would be like, oh my god, this is the most insane patch ever. It's time to play Epic 7. They just gotta spice it up, but instead they're just sitting there doing nothing. And I mean, all I can really say is like, I love the game, but it's hurting. It's really hurting. When Wuthering Waves comes out, you bet your ass I'm going to be playing that game. I've been excited for that game for a while. Fresh, new, exciting, fun to do stuff. I love it. I love playing variety games. I love playing all sorts of stuff. Playing E7 all day, every day when Smilegate is just dead silent and nothing's happening, that's boring. And I think a lot of other people feel the same way. I'm not the only one. Like, sure, I play the game for a living all the time, but I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way, where they're like, oh, why am I playing E7 all day? I should just go play Tekken. And that game just came out. Or like, oh, I'll just go play Pal World. I'll play that instead, right? That sounds fun right now. So, yeah, all in all, I just kind of wanted to, I suppose, vent about some of this, but also just talk about, like, kind of a worrying trend. And it's not really a huge fan. I really hope that Smilegate can finally get it together, because I don't want to see this game die. I don't want to see the community die either, because community is at the all-time lowest it's been in a long time. And it's sad to see, because I love talking to everybody about the game, and it's always fun to get excited over something that we all share together, right? So, anyways, thanks a bunch for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end of my rambling rant all over the place, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time.